The COVID-19 outbreak has disrupted the global supply chain of the personal protective equipment, from the misuse to panic buying and even the rising demand. On this particular episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, we take a look at the homegrown solutions to these rising challenges. I will be your host, Narengwa Fiona Muthoni. The personal protective equipment sector was almost non-existent in Rwanda, but today it is one of the most looked at sectors in the country to supply the needed protective gear and also to play a role in cutting down on the imports of these equipments.
You know, when this pandemic started, the need of these products that are used as PPEs was increased, was on high demand. So as many people started coming up with interest to manufacture, to import. So by that time, most of these products did not have maybe what we would call guidelines and standards. So we developed standards, guidelines with their standards, and published to guide these people who wanted to venture into this sector. The barrier masks, the masks that are made of cloth, we did not have any. You know, this just came up because of this pandemic. So today we have approved around 33 manufacturers, big and small. For the medical masks, we have now 3, but none has started production. But if you see to the plan that was submitted to FDA, there are 3 that are in pipeline. So they were delayed by the machines that are being transported from China and the other parts of the world. So in total, for the face masks, we have 36 for both mask and for both barrier mask and the medical masks. For the hand sanitizer, we did not have again, but today we have 10 that are approved. And for the coveralls, we have also 3 still in pipeline, but 1 already has started production. And also for the shoe covers, 1 is in pipeline. And the ventilator also, there is 1 company or group of people that are trying to invent the ventilators.
As the fight against COVID-19 intensifies, some countries like the United States and China have already put restrictions on exports of personal protective equipment to protect their own people. We visited different local companies that have been given the green light by the Rwanda Food and Drug Authority to operate.
The government of Rwanda, in a bid to protect the Rwandans, asked all companies that manufacture garments to start making masks for protection for Rwandans. As a social enterprise, we found it so great to be lending a hand, and we are lending a hand in 2 ways. Number 1 is we are providing protection for Rwandans through manufacturing of masks. Then number 2, during the lockdown, so many people were not working, and we have trained a pretty number of cooperatives in tailoring. So what we did, we removed our most technological machinery and invited cooperatives that we trained around Kigali that were in the lockdown, so that we can also provide jobs for them. So we have over 200, about 230 women. So a woman here makes 1 mask at 100, and the minimum wage we are providing right now, a minimum a woman can make in a day is about 4,000. So for us, it is a double score. We have so far distributed over 70,000 masks around Kigali, but we had donors, people who donated masks to vulnerable groups in Rwanda.
We looked around, so materials we have, the skills and knowledge. So we started making face shields and also ventilators. The first impact is that logistics are not really good worldwide. So as also we are also medical doctors need face shield, but they also need other equipments. So we see that if we make them locally, it will be easier to fight this pandemic, as also other community members are making other different projects like sanitizers which are made locally. So also reducing the price of the government that is incurring these days. So far we have made 2,000 already, which we are waiting for people to buy, but we have been selling to dentists and surgery doctors who are really giving us a good feedback on them.
As a way to find solutions, I wanted to do hand sanitizers from natural remedies and raw materials that I could easily find in Rwanda. Because when the pandemic began, the borders and airports were closed, and this could have posed a challenge. Rwandans are ready and they are willing to buy. Most of these companies had to restructure their business strategies and streamline their books in order to venture into this sector. Two of the main components needed are, one, an already available market, and two, the investment.
Yes, we didn't incur a lot of investment, as I can say, because we looked around as Rwandese who also need to make some, like, we need to play a part in the government, also help the government, I can say. So we looked around to see the available materials and at a cheaper cost. So we invested 1 million Rwandan francs to start testing, giving samples to doctors, giving samples to Ministry of Health, Ministry of like FDA, Rwanda FDA, and also RBC. Also circulating around to see the feedback, the good feedbacks they're giving us. Also reaching to the final product. We incurred only 1 million Rwandan francs to start making all these things. So per day we are making 500, which may exceed. If we have a bigger order, we can also exceed. Instead of working 8 hours, if we work extra hours, we can also reach 1,000 pieces per day.
Until now, I am yet to count and balance out my accounts and see how much I have been able to use. I am still investing, and on Monday there are some new equipment that I may also buy. The challenge that I'm facing now is that of packaging. There is demand, and Rwandans are eagerly awaiting and willing to buy these products. Another challenge that I may face is satisfying clients who will make orders of large quantities.
You know, we are not looking at a business at this time. You know, Rwanda government has done a lot for us as a business people, putting better policies that support our businesses. So at this moment, we are selling this mask to the distributor at 400, and the woman takes 100 francs per mask. So it is like corporate social responsibility. We are not looking at a business as such. We are looking at saving lives of Rwandans.
The pandemic has impacted the economy greatly, with many companies closing doors and increasing number of people going jobless. In Rwanda, at Gahaya Links, they are doing what they can to open more doors and provide employment to the vulnerable at a time like this. During this period of COVID-19, these face masks are not only helping us personally, but they are helping the entire population in prevention of the virus by making them easily available on the market. In one day, I make 100 face masks. I am grateful for this because I am able to sustain myself and my family. My children are still able to get daily bread because of these masks that I make. We follow all the safety precautions and guidelines presented to us, and we are yet to face any challenges. What I will tell everyone is that when you do a job that you love, it helps you a lot in everything. I am paid per week. I never go hungry or worried. They count the work that we did, and we are paid accordingly.
The knowledge I have in tailoring, I got it from school. I studied from the lowest levels, and I kept upgrading, and I learned through the experiences. I have not been here long, but it's where I get my training from. And the work that I do here sustains me. In a day, depending on how I wake up, I make a minimum of 100 masks. These COVID times are a challenge to us and the government as well globally. I am grateful to have the opportunity to play my role in keeping everyone safe and being able to make money when others are struggling.
The government put strict measures to protect consumers against traders and other businesses that deliberately hike the price of food, sanitation, and pharmaceutical commodities during the lockdown. Currently, the country does not have a pricing policy for the personal protective equipment. We get to see how this is monitored and why it is important for entrepreneurs to restructure their business models when opportunity comes knocking.
Currently, we don't have a pricing policy to enforce that, but that does not mean that anyone would put any price that he wants. Of course, as a government, we know, because it's us who issues the import permits, so we know the prices that the cost of each product that they import. So we can easily monitor that someone is trying to hike the prices unnecessary. So we have issued a circular warning people not to hike the prices, and have even gone forward to call all the importers to negotiate, to discuss on the issue of the prices, so that they should not put prices that are not that are hiked. Even the government has went forward to facilitate, to give some incentives, to waive off some services fee that we charge as Rwanda FDA, and some products are tax exempted, so there should not be any reason for hiking the prices. Of course, at the start this happened, but with time it came under control when we approached these people to ensure that the prices are normal. Of the population, it's of big impact. It's very difficult always to rely on products that are coming overseas. So when you have this ready stock available, it facilitates also the healthcare providers to ensure that their work is done on time and effectively.
So entrepreneurs should take this as a huge opportunity that the government thought through and said our entrepreneurs can actually venture into investing into this. It's not a long term, but you should always be ready to embrace an opportunity, because if they imported these masks from elsewhere, we would be still in our homes.
No matter the circumstance, no matter the challenge, Rwandans are determined to rise. In this particular episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, we got to look at the different homegrown solutions during this COVID-19 outbreak. I was your host, Narengwa Fiera Muthoni. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.